in Mwingi. However, his client Bwire is still missing. Today, Muslim leaders and civil organizations have categorically stated that they will not relent on the quest for justice over the enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings in Kenya. Speaking at the Jamia Mosque in Nairobi, the leaders condemned the government over its reluctance on handling the matter, terming it a mischief. Lame Kaungo has more on that story.
In a joint statement today, the Muslim leaders and civil organizations condemned the enforced disappearance and extrajudicial killings that have risen over the recent past in Kenya. The leaders were speaking in relation to the abduction of Professor Nandwa and his client Bwire. Professor Nandwa was representing his client Bwire, who had served a 10-year term in prison and was abducted on 28th of October 2021. But Professor Nandwa was released today in the morning after 12 days.
Yet again, the government has shown its present disregard of the rule of law. More than ever, it is clear that this government, led by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, is bent on repressing Muslims and denying them their constitutional rights. At no time in the history of this country has the challenges of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings been prevalent as during the tenure of President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. For 12 days, Professor Hassan Nandwa, a well-respected Islamic scholar, academician, and a lawyer, was abducted by state security agencies who held him against his will, leaving his family traumatized and in a state of agony. He was released last night at around 1 p.m. and dumped in a bush in Mwingi, Kitui County, from where he dragged himself to seek assistance. He is in the hands of his relatives and was found not in good health. Like similar incidences before, he has been ordered not to speak about his horrified experiences or face brutal consequences. Apart from Professor Nandwa, many Muslims have borne the brand of being victims of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings.
Speaking during the event, LSK CEO Mercy Wambua condemned the act and called for collective efforts to end abductions in the country.
Last week, and immediately after the mysterious disappearance of Professor Wilson Hassan Nandwa and his client Bwire, the council and the branch chairs came together and thought to hold this stakeholders' engagement under the Purple Ribbon Campaign Week to agitate for the safe production of counsel, that is our advocate, together with his client, and also to end the enforced disappearances that we have been witnessing in this country. We thank God that today and this morning we have received the news that William Hassan Nandwa, professor and advocate of the High Court of Kenya, as well as an officer of the court, today has been found in Mwingi. I would like to confirm that one of our members of the Law Society of Kenya, immediately after we received the news, we dispatched him, one who practices in Mwingi, and has this morning met Professor Nandwa and confirms that he is safe with his family members in Mwingi. This notwithstanding, as a Law Society of Kenya, we do condemn in the strongest terms possible the abduction, mysterious disappearances, not only of our members, but also of Kenyans.
Cases of forcible disappearance and abductions are on the rise over the past few years. What the motive and who is behind remains unknown in Kenya.
Lawyer Abdikadir Mohammed called for respect to the rule of law, even as he cited that the war on terror has caused the loss of many innocent Kenyans.
It's really mistaken. It's really very unfortunate that there are those in the security apparatus who have essentially decided that they are above the law, that the judiciary and the courts are a weak link and therefore we're going to set it aside. They are the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, and they will decide on their own, without recourse to anybody, how, who, and when they will fashion out whatever punishment they think is appropriate, whether it's kidnapping you and releasing you in the middle of the night in Mwingi, or maybe even killing you. Now, the global war on terror has been a disaster. It has killed very many people. It has laid very many countries waste.
Lamekaungo, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Lamek, for that story. And moving on, the chief